Welcome to Wavemaker's Audio Plays. I'm your host, Hillary Muckovitz. Every month we bring you a brand new audio play. Here's how it works. This past June, all of our writing teams were given 6 weeks to write a 15 to 30-minute audio play for a team of 3 actors. Each writer was given a sound prompt and a setting they had to use in their script. This month we're trying something new. This is a Christmas special featuring all of our actors from Season 2. I wasn't originally planning on writing this season, but when none of the writers got the North Pole setting, and one of my actors is the Kettle Moraine Santa, how could I not? Regular listeners may remember our main character, Genevieve Xavier, from last season's episode, Precious Hauntings. A content reminder, this Christmas episode is not for kids. That being said, snuggle down by the fireplace and enjoy Homes for the Holidays by Hillary Muckovitz. We're Dom and Frenzo.
And this is the Top Smile Recreation Pod. Welcome, Mittens. I'm Dom, the D in your DeFi, and this is Fiorenzo, my lovely husband.
Hello, darlings.
How are you, lovely husband?
Wonderful.
Today we'll be focusing on a complete recap on the series Homes for the Holidays, hosted by the one and only Genevieve Xavier.
I just love her. Oh, wait until you see the scene at the Yule Cat Palace.
Come on. Spoilers. Let's set the table first. So, we've been enjoying her shows for years, as you've heard on the pod previously, especially her High-Spirited Living series. So, we're going to be recapping the whole series of Homes for the Holidays here on the pod. So, listeners, if you don't want any spoilers, if you haven't watched the series yet, just be best to pause and come back to this later.
All right. This series was all about Genevieve visiting holiday supernatural celebrities all over the world.
It was kind of a sort of a lifestyles of the spooky and famous. 4 episodes altogether, and I was really surprised that she started out with the most famous of all right from episode 1. She went to the North Pole with our buddy Chrissy K, Santa Claus himself.
It's September here at the North Pole. You can see out the window there is still a little bit of daylight. If you are lucky enough to get a travel visa to the North Pole, it will always be in the off-season. Now it's time for me to pick up my shuttle. You might recognize this reindeer running the shuttle service from our Finland episode of High-Spirited Living.
Great to see you again, Genevieve. That was quite the evening out we had with those firefoxes.
I still can't drink glog after that night. Now, viewers, the reindeer shuttle is the best way for North Pole visitors to get around. However, one thing you should know about the local etiquette. Be sure not to mention the poem, "'Twas the Night Before Christmas."
Frickin' Clement Clark Moore. I always charge my passengers extra if they ask me if I'm one of the 8, or worse yet, Rudolph.
There are hundreds of reindeer at the North Pole, and it's pretty unlikely to meet one of the 8. Rudolph has been living in Malibu ever since his movie career took off.
Snotty little brat. I don't miss him. Besides, LED lights work far better for navigating than a light-up nose. I heard horror stories of trying to travel with Rudolph when he had a cold. Anyway, enough about that jerk. To Santa's house, milady?
While we tend to think of Santa Claus as a jolly man who delivers toys to children around the world during the holidays, his actual role is even more complicated than that. Santa Claus is technically a head of state, even if he is more of a figurehead these days. North Pole society is complicated and rooted in thousands of years of tradition. Visitors who have an audience with Santa first have to have a session with the protocol elves.
You did your homework, Ms. Xavier.
I always do.
I see you are wearing the traditional red and green. Excellent. The jingle bell earrings are a nice touch. When you meet Santa, the appropriate ways to greet him are Your Jolliness or Father Christmas. Please do not refer to him as Chris or Nick.
Will I be required to sit on his lap?
No, my dear. That custom was done away with in the 90s. A handshake will suffice. We will escort you in, and when the audience has ended, we will escort you out again. Shall we?
Good morning, Your Jolliness. I am Genevieve Xavier.
Ho, 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 ho. A pleasure to meet you, Miss Xavier. I especially enjoyed your holiday special, Making Spirits Bright.
Why, thank you, Your Jolliness. That is such an honor.
I understand we're the first stop on your Christmas journey. Where else are you going?
Iceland, England, and Austria.
Oh, so you'll be meeting several of my colleagues. Be sure to send my regards to Yule Cat.
Will do, Your Jolliness.
I hope you have a wonderful journey and a Merry Christmas.
My trip to the North Pole was beautiful and a once-in-a-lifetime experience. We are going to rate each of our holiday locations based on 3 factors. Factor 1. Is the location welcoming? How was I greeted? Were the hosts friendly? I did get a very gracious greeting from Sven, the elves, and Santa. However, the North Pole also is notoriously strict on letting outsiders in. So on a scale of 1 to 5, I'm going to give it a 3. Factor 2. Is the location cozy? Do I feel comfortable? Is this a place I would love to visit regularly on the holidays? While the North Pole is very beautiful and elegant, the whole environment is very formal. It's not a great place to relax. So for cozy, I'm going to give it a 2. Finally, Factor 3. Festive. The North Pole sets the standard for Christmas festivities worldwide. The decorations, the fashion, the food, the music were all top-notch. For festive, I'm giving the North Pole a 5.
What did you think about the North Pole?
Oh, I just love the decor.
I cannot get over, say what you will about Santa, but I could not get over just the variety of ornaments and just that they were from every decade and every century and every culture. I think I would like to go to view the decorations, but maybe not have the whole big audience with Chrissy K there.
Yes, it felt like the whole place was a giant museum, and that would get old after a while.
Time for a little break to hear from our sponsors.
Coming soon on HHGN, the Haunted House and Garden Network. Vampires in the Sunbelt. Brought to you from the same producers of Poltergeist in the Vatican City. Can a group of vampires settle in Tempe, Arizona without setting fire to their whole existence? Check it out on Mondays, starting this January. And just in time for spring, this March a Banshee, La Llorona, and Dracovac are house hunting in Dublin. See if these creatures can find a neighborhood that they like without getting arrested for noise complaints in the McLoudersons. And don't forget the HHGN Radio Broadcast and Podcast. This December, we're featuring classic episodes of the Sam Hill Radio Hour, including the famous 1966 New Year's Eve episode. All of this and more, only on HHGN, the Haunted House and Garden Network.
So let's get into the next episode, shall we?
All right, now we're going on to Iceland.
In recent years, Iceland has been marketing itself as the bargain version of the North Pole at Christmas. You've probably heard the ads, get filled with the holiday spirit without emptying your wallet. It was an interesting contrast following the North Pole, starting with their own reindeer shuttle.
Hey, Biff! Looky who we got here!
Yo, V, these fucking fucks. Sully, So it's Genevieve Xavier.
Biff, you drew the deli. Don't talk like that in front of a guest.
Oh, don't worry, guys, it's fine. Kind of a relief after all the formality of the North Pole.
Oh, fancy. I bet you use the reindeer shuttle there. Here in Iceland, we don't need the special reindeer shuttle ornament to drive passengers.
Yeah, try getting a job at the North Pole if you ain't a Nepo baby. Forget about it. That's who had all the shuttle ornaments. Always seemed to be Donna's nephew, Blitz's son-in-law. All of them caught in front of line of us.
But it's your lucky day today, Ms. Xavier. A 2 reindeer shuttle for the price of 1. Hop on in, ma'am. Your chariot awaits.
The Icelandic landscape is dramatic, even in late September. The palace of the Yule Cat is one of a kind. The shape is a giant version of the familiar kitty condo so many of us have in our homes. We will also get to see a procession of the Icelandic trolls, known as the Yule Lads, before we enter the palace.
Greetings and welcome to the Yule Cat Palace. I'm Mayhem, and this is Tchotchke.
Hey girl, hey! We are 2 Yule lads from the House of Gri-La, here to serve up some Icelandic Christmas realness.
I have my brand new sweater on and I'm ready to go.
Oh, look at you! But you don't have to worry, sweetie. Yule Cat has been on a strict non-human diet for decades now.
Plus, devouring children that weren't wearing their new Christmas sweaters wasn't really good for our image. Now she just gives them a judgy look. Although, now that I think of it, that's just her normal face. Kitty Girl totally has resting judgy face.
When you meet the Yule Cat, do not approach her directly. Hold your hand out and let her sniff it. Saying pss, 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 pss is also acceptable. Presenting Her Royal Majesty, the Yule Cat.
Meow, 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 meow.
Your Majesty. Your Majesty.
For the love of Bjork, she's over there in the corner. Hey kitty girl, the TV people are here. Time to stop licking your butt and step your pussy up.
I'm hungry. How about some fermented toddler?
Ma'am, we have company. We've discussed this. We'll get you some herring.
I can't eat her. She's clearly wearing a new sweater.
Ma'am.
What I'm curious about is this whole push to have Iceland be more of an affordable Christmas destination than the North Pole. I see you already have a Christmas palace and a reindeer shuttle service. What else do you have in the works? Any toy production?
Ooh, toys. We need more of those, especially the ones with catnip in them.
We do have our new artisanal toy shop that is creating all sorts of...
I'm hungry.
I can get you a lovely herring pate from the kitchen.
No, you Faviti troll. I'm sick of that herring garbage. I want American food.
Ma'am, stop looking at our guest like that. Are you drooling?
And that's my cue to leave. As you just witnessed, Iceland was a little more exciting than I anticipated. Let's look at how it did in the ratings. Welcoming. The reindeer, the Yule Lads, and really everyone in the Icelandic Christmas village, with one big exception, gave me a warm welcome. I'm giving it a 4 out of 5. As for cozy, I had to flee for my life, so I did not become an early Christmas dinner for the Yule Cat. Families, if you visit the Christmas village, be sure to avoid going anywhere near the Yule Cat. Also, be forewarned, if you are using the reindeer shuttle, their conversations aren't always family friendly. For cozy, I'm giving it a 1 out of 5. Finally, for festive, outside of the Yule Cat Palace, I was impressed by the celebrations and festivities. However, sometimes it was painfully obvious that they had to cut corners because they do not have the North Pole's budget. So for now, for festive, 3 out of 5.
So that was quite a surprising ending to the Iceland episode. Genevieve running for her life.
Oh, I was not expecting that from the Yule Cat. Oh, yes, we love our 3 cats. Yes, we love Miss Kitty Carlisle. We've got
Yes.
Pussy Galore. She's
Yes.
the tabby.
Mm-hmm. And Mew Paul.
Oh, she's such a lady.
You know, I think, honestly, I mean, we're blaming Yule Cat for this, but I think maybe the people who are handling Yule Cat and knew the cameras were on, I think, you know, they could have handled that a lot better. And to put Genevieve in that situation, that was just irresponsible.
I hope they prepare better for that Yule Cat. She sounds more like she should be in a zoo than be in a palace greeting visitors.
Yeah, I think I would need to stay away from that because it's a giant cat, and I would just want to love on there, on just that just sweet cat, and she's a killer. It's not hyperbole. She's a killer.
We would want to come back alive.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes.
The next episode is quite a contrast when Genevieve goes to merry old England.
The local haunt pub in London has a long history of being a hangout for many of the most famous ghosts and legends of British history. I came here to meet up with the ghosts of Christmas past, Christmas present, and Christmas yet to come. But first, I had a little chat with the bartender to give me a lay of the land.
Welcome, Miss Xavier. You have a lot of fans here at the local haunt. We have watch parties for your show every week.
Thank you so much. That's quite an honor. I'm curious, as it's only the first week of October, are you usually decorated for Christmas this early?
That's all the ghost of Christmas present. It just happens wherever he goes. A pub, Buckingham Palace, the loo, you name it. If you look around the pub, there are the 3 ghosts over in that corner. Then on that far wall, instead of a dartboard, we have a target for archery practice. It's a favorite of Robin Hood and his merry men. Over there at the special round table is King Arthur and his knights. St. George sometimes comes in with a dragon.
I thought he was a dragon slayer.
Oh, that's the legend. But it really is just a show they put on for tourists. Let me take you to the Christmas ghosts.
Come over and know me better, Ms. Xavier.
Wonderful to meet you. You must be the ghost of Christmas present.
That he is. I'd say nice to meet you, but of course, you and I have a long history. I'm the ghost of Christmas past.
Why is the ghost of Christmas yet to come honking a horn?
Oh, he's just trying to be more approachable. He said not everybody is a miser that needs to be scared into learning the true meaning of Christmas.
Well, that's a relief. Ghost of Christmas present, I apologize if I'm talking out of turn, but I have to ask. Do you still have those creepy children, want and ignorance under your robe?
Indeed not. That would get me cancelled for sure.
That was one of his brothers from the 1800s. We get a new Ghost of Christmas present every year. There's a strong family resemblance, but they tend to adapt to the times. He said this version is operated with AI.
Not many people realize the Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come has a marvelous sense of humor.
I never would have guessed. I am curious, though, how is your point of view different from your 19th century brothers?
Let me show you.
The left side of your robe has 2 hands, an open hand and a closed fist.
A closed fist cannot give, and it also cannot receive. An open hand is free to give, to receive, and to welcome others.
And the right side has some gold lettering. It looks like it's in Greek. What does it say?
The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. Oh, crikey, was that too much?
Spoilers, mate! His brothers all did this too. They get so excited about their Christmas message for the year, they blurt it out early to anyone who will listen.
Hey, is the ghost of Christmas present doing that true meaning of Christmas bollocks before Halloween again? Ugh, we've talked about this, buddy. Wait until November.
All right. I understand. Hey, isn't there a football match on?
We have a rivalry with the Knights of the Round Table. We root for Liverpool, and they root for Manchester United. Grab a pint and join us.
The local haunt was a huge improvement from the Yule Cat's palace. I plan to make it, well, a regular haunt on future trips to England. Let's look at the rankings. This may have been one of the most welcoming places I've been on this holiday journey. That was a bit surprising, given that some places that are full of celebrities can be a bit like being back in middle school. Everybody in their own clique. Everyone from the bartender to the ghost to the various legends made me feel at home. I rated a 5 out of 5. As for cozy, it is a comfortable pub, but not necessarily a neighborhood I'd want to stay in for the whole holiday. 4 out of 5. Finally, while it was festive when I was there, partly because of the Ghost of Christmas Present, if you were to visit the local haunt during December, most of the time the 3 Christmas ghosts will be out and about scaring the dickens out of the world's misers and doing their job. Ironically, December would be the least Christmassy time of the year at the local haunt. 3 out of 5.
Time for a little break to hear from our sponsors.
Gee, Vlad, does your blood ever have that not so fresh feeling?
Sure, Nocturnal. That is why I use plasma kill. It is fresh blood from nearby blood banks shipped in containers with dry ice straight to your crypt.
Wow, all natural and not synthetic?
All blood types, A through O, positive to negative.
My RH-sensitive friends will be so happy to hear that. Thanks, Plasma Kill.
I was very surprised with the local haunt in England because you know how those celebrities are.
Well, I mean, yeah, celebrities, you might hate us for this. We're going to get lots of hate in the comments for this, but celebrities aren't the people that their images make them out to be. They have a whole team, but you have to remember that the cameras are rolling. And they know the cameras are rolling.
That is true.
And it really, really is producer manipulation.
It is.
Oh, but London at Christmas time, the lighting was so beautiful.
Also, those Knights of the Round Table were very gorgeous.
You have a crush on one of those nights.
Of course I do, Galahad.
The ginger. Yes, my husband likes a ginger. And we were saying we were going to just spend a little bit of time talking about London. It feels like we've been talking about London for a while now.
That's true.
Yeah, we've just been going on and on about London.
Maybe we'll watch Camelot again after this, but first, Genevieve closes out the series Going to Austria.
Krampus and I have met a few times socially over the years. However, this is my first time at his house. And in a historic moment, the first time the inside of Krampus's house will be shown on camera. The exterior of the house is about what you'd expect, a dark and formidable castle up on a hill. Let's take a look inside, shall we?
Well, howdy there, stranger. Welcome to Castle Krampus. Welcome on in.
Thanks, Krampus. Wow, this is surprisingly cozy.
I suppose you were expecting a bit of a medieval dungeon, a throne made of swords, or antlers, or femurs. I know what my image is.
This is one of the most comfortable looking sofas I've ever seen. I also didn't know you had a pet pigeon frise.
Ultron! Come here, Poochie! Who's you, little mastermind? You are! Yes, you are! Let me give you the grand tour. Here's the library.
Wow, this has everything. Graphic novels, romance, sci-fi.
No spooky bookstore. I get enough of that at my job. And here by the fireplace is a perfect little reading nook. And wait till you see this room.
I don't think I've ever seen this many tabletop games in one place.
And a great table to play with, my friends. And just as many types of dice as you might need. We got the 20s, we got the 10s and 12s and 4s. I threw in the D21 just to make the nerds crazy. I'm sure a lot of you viewers will be shocked, but I'm proud of what I do. I've been partners with Santa for centuries, and I'm more than happy to play bad cop for jolly old St. Nick. It's all a part of the magic. However, in the other 11 months of the year, I love to volunteer, especially with Demons Without Borders.
Oh, that's right. I saw you at one of their fundraisers.
I was wondering, as you came all this way, would you and your crew like to stay for dinner? Perhaps a game night? We're playing Cards Against Humanity.
Is that sauerbraten I smell coming from the kitchen?
Spätzle.
Count us in. Now it's time for the rankings. I'm not sure I've been quite that welcomed at a home for the holidays since a trip to my granny's house in my childhood. 5 out of 5. Krampus has a very comfortable house where my entire crew and I felt very much at home. We've already got plans to stay here in a few months the next time we're filming in Austria. 5 out of 5. As for festive, while Krampus's home isn't always decorated for Christmas, given that's his busy season, he is very enthusiastic about celebrating all of the other holidays the other 11 months of the year. 5 out of 5. Hey Krampus buddy, ever thought of co-hosting a show for HHGN? This is Genevieve Xavier signing out and wishing all of you a warm and festive holiday season.
Oh, I just loved how that ended. Who knew Krampus was such a sweetheart?
You know, I just kind of like the guy. He's got a likability factor to him.
Yeah, I never would have guessed I'd want to spend more time hanging out with Krampus than Santa Claus.
Right. You know, right?
And he has the old world hospitality.
Yes, that's it. The old world hospitality. And, you know, it's like he doesn't really have anything to prove because he doesn't have that big, you know, the responsibility of being Santa. So he can just be himself.
Once again, another delightful series by Genevieve Xavier.
That's it for another edition of the Top Smile Recreation Pod.
Next week, we'll be back with our top 10 lists for the year.
We'll be back with whatever jingles our bells or yules our logs. And until then, love ya for reals. Goodbye.
Bye-bye, darlings. You've been listening to Homes for the Holidays by Hilary Muckovitz. Additional material by Carrie Fitch and Andy Higgins. Featuring Carrie Fitch's Dom, Hilary Muckovitz as Fiorenzo and Miss Kitty Carlisle, Patience Weinberger as Genevieve Xavier, Lucky Jones as Sven the Reindeer, Barbara Alvarez as Presley the Protocol Elf, Robert Paminter as Santa Claus, Susie Toman as Biff the Icelandic Reindeer, Michelle Jorgensen as Sully the Icelandic Reindeer, Timmy Wiverstead as Tchotchke the Icelandic Troll, Aaron Covey as Mayhem the Icelandic Troll, Danielle Leonow as Yule Cat, Danielle Romer as Local Haunt Bartender, Lou Nathan as the Ghost of Christmas Past, Michael Rushline as the Ghost of Christmas Present, Larry Marcus as the HHGN announcer, and Andy Higgins as Vlad, Nocturna, and Krampus. Too many actors here to promote everything they're doing, but definitely check out Sheboygan Theater Company, Memories Ballroom, the Scary Stories podcast, and Lakeshore Corral. If you enjoyed Dom and Fiorenzo's podcast within a podcast, we'd highly recommend the podcast that inspired it, Tom and Lorenzo's Pop Style Opinion Fest. Music included our theme song, Ghost Dance, Digital Lemonade, Wish Background, Jingle Bells, Calm, and Krampus Workshop, all by Kevin MacLeod, Incompetech.com. Check out our show notes for a complete listing of credits for all our sound effects. The Wavemaker's assistant director is Jax Clace.
Jax.
Thanks for helping keep Wavemakers afloat. And of course, special thanks to the North Pole's favorite cheesemonger, Benjamin Gartman. If you've enjoyed what you've heard this season, why not recommend Wavemakers to a friend or give us a review on Apple Podcasts? Help us get our nifty 50 and get listeners in all 50 states. We're already up to 35. Hey there, Hawaii and Idaho. If you know someone that might enjoy the podcast in Mississippi, Montana, or New Mexico, how about sending a link their way? Next month, we'll have a New Year's special for an old year with the Sam Hill Radio Hour presents Burnt Toast Theory by Michael Rushline. Wavemakers audio plays are recorded and edited by me, Hillary Muckovitz, here in the Malibu of the Midwest, Sheboygan, Wisconsin. Thanks for listening. Until next time, keep making waves.